What up, my people? What up? What up? I know y'all may not know who I am, but I go by Call Me D. If you know me from my main channel, which is called Call Me D, you know me from my true crime stories or my own personal stories. But that's what I'm doing here. Everything I used to do on that channel, as far as personal stories, addiction stories, I'm gonna do it right here on the Richmond Native. We're just gonna get straight into it from the beginning to the end. Now, before I start this video, to the guys who did run up in my crib that day, hey, look, no hard feelings. It is what it is. I charge it to the game. This is what, damn near over a decade ago, or if a little less than a decade ago. It's all cool, but we're gonna get this motherfucking story out though. So, I'm living in Blue Ridge Estates. These apartments off of Midlothian Turnpike. I guess you would call this uptown. I lived in Blue Ridge before as a kid, but I didn't grow up around Blue Ridge. You know, this is my first time living back in Blue Ridge as an adult. And we moved around there probably around, I think I was 20, 21, somewhere around that age. And I moved in with my girl. She my baby mama today. Shout out to Kendra. What's up, baby? Once we got there, you know, it's regular degular. We just living regular lives. You know, there's really no plan to start selling weed around here until I look up and, hey, I'm broke. I don't have no job and I'm living in this girl crib. It then got to the point where I done left and came back because I'm feeling like as a man, you don't go move in with no chicken, you ain't got no bread coming in. So here's a bright idea. I know how to sell weed. I'm used to selling weed. Been selling weed since I was like 14, 15 years old. Let me sell some weed. Nice apartment complex, not too big, just the right size for you to start a little operation, right? So I start off with the mid. Around this time, mid is still kind of busting. Loud is just hitting the scene. It didn't quite take over the scene yet. You know, this is probably around 2015, 2016, somewhere around that time. The older crowd, they still rock with the mid. They didn't really like the loud because it was so strong. They couldn't really control how high they would get. But the younger crowd, the loud was everything to them. So when I started my little marketing process, I would go around the apartments and I would pass out free bud. And I would have my number attached either inside the bag or I'll give them the number separate from the bag. Like, hey, hit me up if you need some weed. Now, the younger guys, they would tell me like,
You ain't got no loud? I'll take it, you know, it's free bud, but you need that loud pack, bruh.
at the time, bro, I wasn't too fond of the loud because of the prices. It was something I never heard of. I'm like, why would I pay this much for this if I can just pay this much for this? Why would I do that, right? So I kept on going, passing out bud, passing out bud. At this time, all I got is clientele in the older range. I'm talking about mid-30s and up. Them the only people who buying bud from me right now. The younger crowd, they take the weed, but they ain't gonna buy it, right? Cool, whatever. One day, I'm looking out the window, because this is what I used to do. I used to look out the window, and every time I seen somebody walking past the apartment complex or looking like they leaving the complex, I would put my clothes on, run outside, catch up with them. Hey, bruh, give them the pack. Hey, this is who I am. Call me if you need some weed. Another thing I used to do, I used to walk to the shell that was right up the street before they shut it down to create a new shell. I used to go to the shell and I would wait for somebody to buy some Dutches or some cigarellos. And as soon as they come out the door, hey, free bud, bro, look, hit me up if you need some bud. Like, I was marketing my ass off. Like, every day I did this. Clockwork, every day, every day, every day. There was not a day off. I had to put myself out there. Ain't nobody know me. So it got to a point where I had a nice size clientele. I say about a good 10 people who was buying weed from me now, but it could be better. So that's when I thought about making the switch. Now, me, myself, I didn't smoke weed. As a youngin', when I was a teenager, I smoked all the time. That was the highlight of my day, to smoke a blunt. But when I got a little older, I tried to get a job at Kroger one day. I smoked a blunt in between the application process like a dummy. And I wasn't really smoking, but I smoked a blunt at that time. I don't know why. And my piss came back dirty. And I didn't get the job, a job that I really needed. I was going to school at the time. I was going to ITT Tech at the time. And I really needed that job so I could save money to get a car. So once I picked up that job, I said, you know what? It ain't worth it. I ain't smoking weed no more. If it's my money, I don't need to smoke it. So when I tried to smoke again, tried to pick up another blunt after that, months later, it didn't feel right. I don't know what it was about the feeling, bro, but I didn't smoke a blunt ever again after that because the feeling to me just felt so different. I just didn't like it. Maybe it was the wrong weed. Who knows? So that's what made this situation better because I don't even get high on my own supply. I don't smoke weed. So this is all profit for me. So when I finally decided to make the switch, I got with my girl, homeboy. It's one of her best friends. He got the loud, going 100 miles and running, and he said he had something called Gorilla Glue. It's my first time ever hearing of any type of weed called Gorilla Glue. And when he brung it over, bro, it was some shit I never seen. Bro, it almost looked like platinum. The color was almost platinum with some type of bluish, greenish haze. The most beautiful weed I've ever seen, Gorilla Glue. My girl homeboy Pack, he come through. I buy a zip. I said, you know what? I'm gonna buy a zip just to see how it move. And the zip was $280. $280, bro. I'm like, bro, how the hell am I gonna make some money off this? He said, bro,
You gonna make some money off this. And if you break it all the way down, you could possibly make about 500.
I go, what?
Yeah, bro, 500.
All right, we gonna see. Now, loud was so new to me that I really didn't even know how to break it down. I wasn't used to breaking shit down by points, you know, grams. My homeboy told me, you sell loud the same way you sell work. I'm telling him, like, bro, I never sold work before. He said, what? Bro, I never sold no work before. I was never no crack dealer. What you talking about?
Bro, you sold work before, bro. You was out there on the block with us, bro, on 30, bro.
I never sold work before, bro. He could not believe that I used to be out there with them and I ain't never sold no work before. He was basically saying to go by points. It wasn't rocket science. I got the hang of it that same day. That very day he showed me, I got it down pat. I started off selling 0.5s for 10, a gram for 20, a half a pool 25, a pool 50. I kept it real straightforward. I already got an idea on how I'ma sell this. My young guys already told me, bro, you gotta get some loud. I hit them up first. I think I got about 3-4 of them that's laying dormant in my phone. All I said in the text, I sent out a mass text to 4-5 of them guys and I said, loud on deck. 3 out of all of them hit me back, I'm on the way. You at the crib? Yup. One came, got a 10. One came, got a dub. Another one came, got a dub. $50. I said, what the fuck? It would have took me 10 $5 blunts to make $50 off this loud pack, bro. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. This is like work, ain't it? So I put the money in my pocket and I go looking through my phone. So I said, you know what? I might as well tell the older crowd too. Even though they don't really mess with the loud, I still hit them up because you never know. They might smoke both. Half of them hit me back and said, yeah, I'm gonna get some. But like 2 of them actually came and got it. That was another $20 because they came and got 10 apiece. $70. Just like that in 10 minutes. No cap. So I'm sitting here looking at this pack, looking at the money. I said, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I had that evil. Yeah, we finna get it. I said, this the last mid pack I'm buying. After I sell this mid off, I ain't getting no more mid. I'ma say 2 weeks down the line, I started getting complaints from the older crowd who still want the mid. They like the loud. They said, bro, why don't you just sell both? I said, because it don't really move like that around here. But you know what? I said, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I went and bought a half ounce of mid and bought a zipper loud. Are we gonna keep it structured that way? That way I ain't got too much mid on hand, but it's still coming off just to make them happy. I could not believe that I could sell a gram for a dub. This is back then when you could sell a gram for a dub. I'm not saying today. Today you gotta sell a gram for $10. So as time goes on, I hit an uptick. I don't even have to market no more. I don't have to promote myself no more because they promoting for me. And I know a lot of weed dealers know what I'm talking about. You get to a point in your little operation where you don't have to say nothing no more. You don't have to do nothing no more because your clientele gonna do it for you. They gonna tell their friends, and their friends gonna tell their friends, their homeboys gonna tell their girlfriends, their mamas, their family members, and it gets to a point where everybody know who the hell you is now. I done got to a point where I'm walking to the store.
AD, you good?
I don't know who this person is, but they know who I am. They've been getting smoke from me for the past month. It's just that they never came to the door. People been coming to the door. I'm like,
oh, nah, bro. I'm what's the name, people? You know what I mean? I be sending him over there to get the smoke from me.
oh, all right, bet. His name was Fred. Shout out to Fred. I started meeting a lot of people around there, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of cool ass people around Blue Ridge around this time. You had to be there. You just had to be there. Around these years around Blue Ridge, I'm going to call these the golden years. Not just because of the selling weed part, but just because of the people that was around there. It was a lot of cool people. A lot of people came outside to politic with each other. It was cool as hell. It wasn't really a lot of beef in between a lot of folks around there. I loved it. But then the trouble came. Then you had vultures. I call them vultures. You had the motherfuckers coming through who wanted to get a piece of it. They're not coming around there to set up their own shop and make their own money. They're coming around to see what everybody else doing. You know, they just sitting on the sideline just watching and shit. You know? And you can always kind of pinpoint who that person is. The guy that's just quiet, he's sitting to the side, he watching everything. I'm gonna say I saw it, but I didn't take heed. Everything was so smooth. Everything was moving so good. And I had no problems for months. Just making money. And everybody cool and everybody chilling, everybody smiling. I used to let people come in the house and we shooting dice, playing games. That's how cool it used to be. But shit got dark real quick. Now, I get to a point where I meet a guy who didn't live that far from my apartment. When you first come into Blue Ridge, you make a left, you go all the way down to that roundabout. He lived in that area of Blue Ridge. And for the sake of the video, let's call him K-Son. He was a short dude, dark skin, he had braids, he used to walk around, gold necklace, gold rings. I just knew this a dope boy, straight up and down. It ain't hard to pinpoint and know what a dope boy look like. And he looked like he's successful. And I used to see him all the time walking around counting money. I'm like, damn, bro is bold as f. I would not be out here flexing like that. It get to a point where he started copying from me. Only thing I didn't like about this dude, bro, is that you always seen this man with so much money, but he always came short. You making all this bread and you can't come with a full dub. You can't come with a full 25, a full 50. So I'm thinking, he feeling like he can do this. He know I'm gonna give it to him, so it's like, let me short him so I ain't gotta mess up my re-up type. Go to bruh, across the walk, like I'm straight, I'm good. He kind of like threw a little attitude and walked away. I'm like, whatever, bro. I ain't think nothing of it. And that very same night, somebody bum rushed my door to rob me. Now I'm gonna back it up and rewind it. I'm gonna rewind it just to let you know how it started. And I'm not saying it derived from that, because I really don't know. Till to this day, I don't know. It could have been anybody. I'm chilling, I'm in the house. And see, I used to throw these little rehearsals. I'm gonna call them rehearsals, where I still did my music, but because I'm not doing shows and I'm not putting out projects, I used to brush up on my music all the time. I used to sit there and I used to rehearse my raps. All the raps that I write, I used to rehearse them joints. So when it is time for me to go to the studio, boom, one take shot, I'm in and I'm out. So while I'm sitting there rehearsing, instead of putting my money in my pocket, I got the money sitting under a loaf of bread on the dining table. If anybody know how Blue Ridge is set up, we had the apartment when you first walk in, your steps is to the right, your living room to the left, and after that living room, your dining room, and then you cut across, and then your kitchen right there. I'm in the dining room, we had a nice little round table in the dining room. I had a loaf of bread on the table, and every time a plate came through, I took the money, put it on the loaf of bread. I ain't even put it together. I got my notepad right there, and I'm rapping, and I get a knock at the door. Cut the music off, looked under the loaf of bread, I put the money together, kind of stuffed it a little deeper, I looked in the peephole. Now at this time, our porch light is out. It's dark as hell out there. Our neighbor's porch light is out. Dark as hell out there. I could barely hear what the person said, but it sounded like he said, I remember the name, I just can't remember it right now. And my money hungry ass, I cracked the door. I'm kind of looking up and down, I can't see shit. And when I finally figure out why I can't see shit, it's because dude got on all black, hoodie on, with his head down like this. And once I figure it out, I try to close the door. At the same time I'm trying to close the door, he bum rushing the door. I'm closing it, he bum rush. I close it, he bum rush. All of a sudden, I feel a big... This is a second dude behind that door trying to get inside. But I'm still getting the better of him. I'm still going. So I look up the stairs and I'm about to say, babe, so she can come down here and help me push this door closed. But then as I look up, it's a goddamn gun wedged in the door. He put his gun in the door. And I'm telling you, every time I think about this moment during this robbery, bro, I kick myself because I'm like, that was stupid of him to put that fucking gun in the door. I could have grabbed the gun because he couldn't shoot me. The gun is stuck because I'm pushing the door. And the gun is stuck like this. I could have grabbed it like this and snatched it out his hand. But the only thing I was thinking about was safety for my family upstairs. He got the gun pointed upstairs toward the bedrooms. And if I try to take this gun and he shoot it off and one of them get hit, I can't never forgive myself. So I said, fuck it, I let it go. I let the door go. They bum rushing through the door. It's 3 dudes, all black, white masks. I think they had white gloves. I am not sure if I remember the white gloves, but I know for sure they had white masks. Everybody. This shit was damn near professional. They coming through, gun pointed at me, all 3 guns in my direction. One of the first things one of them say is, we ain't here to hit nothing. We ain't gonna hit nothing. We ain't gonna hit nothing. I saw how dude was looking at me. I can't say I saw how he was looking at me like I saw his face because I couldn't see his face. It was kind of not that I was intimidating him, but like, nigga, I know you not bucking up, like you gonna do something. They talking about they ain't gonna hit nothing, we ain't gonna hit nothing. I got my hands up, I'm like, all right, got my head down, because even though they got masks on, I'm gonna make sure I don't see nobody's face, regardless of what. One of y'all might take y'all mask off, I don't know. I'm gonna keep my head down. They put me at the bottom of the steps while they running through the house, grabbing shit. I don't want nobody to hit nothing, so I'm gonna stay calm, I'm gonna chill out. I just got my head down like this. I'm not gonna give you a reason. So as I got my head down, they running through the house, they finally take me upstairs. And while they take me upstairs, they is putting my girl and her son in his room. That was the moment I really figured out how real this shit was, because when it's just me, I can handle it. But putting them through that, I felt like a total dickhead. I can't even explain the feeling. Once they run out, they grab everything. I hug my girl and her son. I don't even go lock the door yet. I just hug them, apologize to them. I'm sorry. Because I got real arrogant over the past few months. We making so much money hand over fist. I got to the point where I had a goddamn mixer bowl beside my bed. I wasn't even holding the money no more. I didn't feel like taking my wad out, putting the money back in. I would just throw bills in the mixer bowl. That's how much money we was making every day. Just throw money in the mixer bowl, at the end of the day, count it, throw it in the safe. Sloppy as fuck. Letting anybody in the house, upstairs, through the kitchen. I got real arrogant and real naive, thinking shit was just that smooth, because it really was for a few months. Like, no problems, no issues. We was your friendly neighborhood weed people. Dead serious. And the aftermath was worse, because at the time I was selling perks and taking them. But after that robbery, my perk addiction skyrocketed. Now, the message I want to leave y'all with for this story: a life of crime is not a life at all. Once you open that door, you cannot control the response to what you're doing, no matter what you're doing. Once you walk into that lifestyle, once you walk that path, that illegal path, you open the door to everything that's on the other side of it. Meaning, just because you're not selling work or robbing people or killing people, that don't mean that those type of people are not gonna cross your path. So understand what you're getting into. Understand that this shit is not a game, even though that you just selling weed. Cause I had it in my mind that even a college dude could sell weed. Anybody could do that, right? Nah, bro. You can't get by on a coke and a smile. You really gotta do this shit with an iron fist. You really gotta put in some violence for motherfuckers don't mess with you. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't raised to do that. I wasn't built to do that. So when it came time for me to put in work, for me to go find these niggas and do something to them, I didn't do nothing to them. In my mind, logically, I couldn't say it's smart to go find these niggas, kill them, and possibly go to jail, or possibly have them come back and kill me or a family member of mine. That's how I thought. But in the streets, it's about surviving. I was just in the way, because I didn't have to be in the streets. I didn't have felonies. I had a father in my life, still got him to this day. Shout out to you, Pops. I had a mother in my life. She passed away when I was 14. I had options. I had things. I could get a job. I had so many options, but I chose that shit. So when it came down to me taking the consequences, I had to take it. I had to take my lick like a man. And for the young guys who may see this video, it's not worth it. Whatever it may be. Even if you was forced to live that lifestyle, make sure you got a way out. That's all I got. Y'all stay safe, y'all stay positive, and please stay sober. If you ain't moving, you losing, my boy. This is the Richmond Native, and we out.
Talk, no comment though, just paper chase. Chasing my dreams, my nightmares ain't got no money. Just a cardboard sign and they existing so bumming. And they want me down